Thank you very much. Newsflash, newsflash. New York, June 21, 2012. Moody's Investor Service today downgraded the credit ratings of 15 of the world's largest global banks due to significant exposure to the volatility and risk inherent to capital market activities. In the past, these risks have led many institutions to fail. Moody's Global Banking MD said that today's actions, however, reflect not only the credit implication of capital markets, but also the size and stability of earnings from other sources. And that is the crux. Here ends the newsflash. You don't need a double degree in economics and international politics to work out that we're actually in the midst of an old economic and political order that is coming apart. Some say we are on the trough of a wave of creative destruction, a term coined by Joseph Schumpeter in the 1930s. History tells us that innovation through scientific and technological advance creates social change, often radical social change, and that these move in cycles. New technologies render existing models of economic activity inefficient and nonsensical over time, like carrying around currency when you can actually just use a PayPal password or wave your Google Android phone at a pay point and in the process bypass all the aforesaid global banks. So most societies view the cumulative effect of these cycles of innovation as the underlying dynamo of modern progress, each wave leading to a new level of productivity, wealth creation and material benefit. But this view also conceals the reality that tens of millions of people will pay a high cost for such progress, many through loss of their jobs, others through loss caused by environmental factors. You see, rusted out factories and ghost towns like Fukushima are as much the consequence of technology revolution as this iPad is. When Scott Drummond asked me to talk at fastBREAK today on the subject called Stuffed, I was actually researching the theme of Amplify 2013. Now, there are 7 billion people in the world today. 5 billion of them are adults over the age of 15, and there are about 3 billion formal jobs. I was reading the World Future Society's forecast that by 2030, some 2 billion jobs will be lost from the formal sector. And I was thinking, as I said to Scott, yeah, I can do Stuffed. I think I have something to talk about. Who could have known the Euro crisis and the Moody forecast would be so serendipitously timed? But of course, you didn't get out of bed this morning to be depressed by me. You came here for some inspiration. Fortunately, I did find some inspiration on my research journey, and I came across a concept called the future quotient. You see, I was looking for, I was a bit worried that, paralysis can set in when fear happens. And so how do we actually break fear? How do we become better at anticipating the future, and what do we need to do to cultivate anticipatory leaders? So the future quotient is a measure that was developed by a company, Valence in Switzerland, and it is defined as the ability to think, act, and create value along intergenerational timescales. Intergenerational, so at least 33 years. Leaders that possess this future quotient embody 7 characteristics. They are curious, challenging, collaborative, courageous, creative, cross-generational, and connected. People like you. Large corporations on the quarterly forecast treadmill and governments on a 3-year election cycle do poorly on their future quotient. Ironically, small business, and especially family-run businesses, fare best because decisions are often made on the basis of building a business that endures for the children so the children can inherit and continue the business. So the FQ score can plot teams, organizations, and so on a scale from past to present thinking. Over breakfast, have a chat to see who you think match the different ends on the spectrum of the thinking styles. I was listening to the radio in the car on the way in, and the whole dilemma with refugees. And here, you decide for yourself. Past thinking on this end of the scale evolves a cultural time frame that seeks to leverage the past. People in this mode mine the past for solutions and to avoid risk and increase certainty. As a collective, the team will research what is known and draw on individual and collective experiences and experts in order to make a decision. So call in McKinsey or appoint a Royal Commission. They seek to understand the fundamentals and measure and weigh all evidence carefully before coming to any conclusions, any even tentative ones. Present thinking evolves a cultural time frame that is near-term. Focus is on current trends, driving the present towards a preordained goal. They're very highly organized and consider disruption of their plans, a major intolerable. Predictability and continuity, the domain of ROI, is the end game of their thinking. And their view of the future is it is not something to be explored and exploited, but something to be navigated. Present thinkers try to get the job done on time and on budget. Future thinking involves a culture weighted to what's next, actively moves towards areas of chaos and uncertainty where new ideas and possibilities emerge. They're quick to change course and adapt, highly tolerant to risk and ambiguity, will engage in speculation and be driven by challenges, and pursue possibility, often with little more than their intuition to guide them. And it was this last line that really inspired me, the pursuit of possibility, and it kept me thinking. If it's fear that causes paralysis and inaction and keep organizations, companies, and even individuals trapped in the trough of creative destruction, when all the signals are screaming, you're going to be stuffed, what is it that causes action? Is it courage? Is courage an auto-reflective emotion like fear, or is courage the consequence of calculated risk-taking? And how can we get more of that? My own thought experiment led me back to what I believe lies at the root of all progress: curiosity. Curiosity is the starting point from where we overcome fear. It's the difference between the infant that clings to his mother's legs and the toddler who overcomes fear with its curiosity to waddle off away from the safety zone of mom and explore the universe. If we want to eject ourselves from the trough of creative destruction, we need to adopt the habits of future explorers like Leonardo da Vinci and Buckminster Fuller, and be insatiably curious about what can be done to make the world a better place. Let's look beyond the next Facebook and the internet. Let's look far away into space, nanotechnology, synthetic biology, energy, robotics, genomics, and cognitive technology, to build a new wave. But with the wisdom that we've gained from this round and experiences with derivatives trading, housing bubbles, 9/11 attacks, oil spills, and the Fukushima nuclear disaster, let's also debate and question how much destruction we are willing to put up with as we stoke the fire of the next creation and innovation. These are not questions only of science, technology, and innovation, but for a revitalized democratic imagination. So let your imagination loose. Fuel your children's curiosity and love of maths and languages, and let's help unstuff the future. Thank you.